So today we're going to start our weaving. I hope you brought all your supplies home because you'll definitely need them. I know you're excited to get started, but I'm just going to remind you of one thing that we're going to do today. We talked about the warp threads, and I need to remind you that the warp threads are the main part. They're vertical threads that go up and down, and they're like the backbone of the weaving. And the reason I remember that the warp threads go from top to bottom, the vertical lines, is I think of warp speed. That's what it makes me think of, like a spaceship that's going up in space. So I can picture a space shuttle that's blasting off and it's going up in space. So that's going warp speed to take it to space. See if I can do this. Live long and prosper. Don't judge me. So that's a little review. So today we're going to use only wool warp threads. This is what your bag will look like when you finish today. This is what you're going to bring back to me tomorrow. That way we can get started. So you can see that the lines are vertical. None of the lines cross over, so they're all parallel to each other. They go in the same direction, but they don't touch. Now, if you notice something at the top we have little loops. There's a loop and not a loop, a space, a loop, a space, like this. At the bottom, I don't see any loops. That's very important because these loops are going to be the top of our bag, and we're going to weave around the board, and then we're going to lift off these loops, and it's kind of like a sock. If we put a sock over this board, the top of the sock, the opening of the sock would be right here, and the bottom of the sock where it would be enclosed would be right here. So we don't need loops at the bottom. Otherwise, instead of having a bag, we'd have like a sleeve because it would be open on both sides, and we don't want that. All your stuff would fall out and you would lose everything. It would be catastrophic. So you need to make sure that when you do your bag that you have loops only at the top, no loops at the bottom. And it should be a loop, no loop, a loop, no loop, loop, no loop. The reason that you have no loops on this side is because it's a bag. So we have to weave on this side and we have to weave on the back side. So we're going to enclose this board with our bag. So we need to have a loop, a no loop, a loop, a no loop, a loop, a no loop at the top. No loops again at the bottom. All vertical lines. This is perfect. So when you have it ready like this, make sure you double check and then bring it to me tomorrow so we can get started on the next step of your student guide. So I'm going to go with you step by step, and this is what we're going to achieve at the end of the video.